Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies of Sosa podcast. My name is Sahra.
And my name is Christine.
Today, we're doing another reactionary video or episode where we kind of dissect two controversial what we consider controversial videos and let our panel and ourselves react to it. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and introduce our panel.
My name is Garang. I'm back. I'm a fashion model. And I actually stopped for a little while. I was on this panel before. Had a little book, kind of didn't go with that. But yeah, I'm back. I'm excited to see how it goes. Yeah. I'm just here. So.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vaida.
What's up?
It's Amanual and Goy. All right. And then we have Willy.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome back. We missed you.
Thank you.
If you guys can't tell, it's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yeah.
Monday night.
This is our first time ever shooting on a Monday.
Yeah,
definitely the last.
Yo, we're
I'm
we're tired, but we're here. Okay, we made it. We made it.
Let's do this.
And then we have Tariq. Go ahead.
It's back.
Yourself.
They were asking about you.
They sure were.
You got fans, man.
You got fans.
To all my fans, thank you. But yeah. I guess I'm back. Monday, long day of work, long weekend, but we're here.
That's dedication. Yo. And then go ahead and introduce yourself. They're gonna want to know who you are as well.
Hey everybody, my name is Deng. I'm a uni student.
Yeah.
That's it.
Come on.
We love it. All
The
right.
way he said uni, where you from, brother? He said uni.
Yeah.
We don't say uni in America. Where you from?
That is true. What's the panhandle?
Yeah, I'm from the Panhandle. Amanual, Texas.
Like Florida?
No, Panhandle. Yeah.
Amarillo, Texas.
How is Amarillo? Like, I've never been there, but
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of South Sudanese people that live
Yeah,
there.
I'll say it's a different vibe. It's a small town. So it's like, I'd say out of all the big cities like San Antonio, Austin, I'd say it's more like San Antonio. Like that vibe.
Where the hell did they find both of y'all in Amarillo?
Listen,
So
I don't make the rules.
What makes
Is
y'all
it like
stay?
some kind of, I think, meat company or something over there?
Oh, Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot
Tyson.
of our
Centered over there?
Sudanese,
Work there?
that pushed a lot of Sudanese there back in like 2005. So
Mhm.
that's what pushed my parents over there too from Houston. Like work.
for jobs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Houston,
What makes you
Amarillo is
stay-
crazy.
Yeah, it was that Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, okay.
What makes you stay in Amarillo?
What makes me stay in Amarillo? Honestly, that was my first. This is my first year back in Amarillo. So,
Oh,
Got
okay.
you.
but I'll say it's cool because when you go to big cities, really it's too fast. Really, it's like you just waking up and it's fast. You don't got time to chill. You know.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's life in America, though. It's
Yeah.
always like go, go, go. Like even
Yeah.
today coming here after a full
Yeah.
day,
Dallas.
Yeah.
it's
Crazy.
always like
It's
just
fast.
work and then you squeeze your life in around it.
Yeah.
It's not like a good balance
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
I would kind of attest to him because I stayed in El Paso for like a month, and those small towns, it is kind of slower and it's
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to
This is
deal
why
with a
South
lot.
Sudanese people need to get into hunting, camping, and
Yeah.
everything else outside.
I don't know about all that.
Hey, look, me and my
I
brother.
do. I do want to get into hunting. Nah, that's a good. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got
Yeah,
you.
do
I
wanna
got you on
get
the.
into
I got you on
hunting.
the hookup. My brother.
Yeah.
He just got some bucks about like last year.
Yeah.
But like, I think you would love it. I think a lot of South Sudanese would realize that real quickly how much they actually like the Southern style
Literally.
of living on the
Yeah.
outside, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been camping since I was 9 years old
Yeah.
in the States, and I'm gonna tell you like this: like you're gonna get the fast life, but if
Yeah.
you just go out to Amarillo, go
Yeah.
out to like these places in the middle
Yeah.
of West Texas, make sure that they like Negroes.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Y'all
But
like
outside of that,
camping?
it's fun.
Yeah.
That's
camping is
facts because
cool.
I got a truck that doesn't do no
we
truck
camp a lot.
activities.
Yeah.
Really?
In Utah, yeah, like, there's a lot of camping. There's a lot of trails.
Outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors. It's very
That's why-
outdoorsy.
Yeah.
So
No.
That's
Utah is another place where
Yeah.
people wouldn't expect
it's
for there to be
it's-
South
it's
Sudanese.
beautiful.
It has beautiful scenery.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Oh,
Like even
man.
just driving,
Mhm.
I can't stand it here anymore because
Yeah.
It's too flat, right?
I don't see anything.
No
But,
mountains.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, but in Utah, it's
Yeah.
like the scenery just in the background while you're driving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The mountains
The
all
scenery
around
is
you.
Yeah,
just
it's so beautiful.
It's crazy.
Okay, what's the most exotic meat that everyone has
Okay.
eaten? Like,
Goat.
Exotic
Goat.
meat that anybody's ever
And
made.
I think
No,
goat
I'm
is for
just-
me.
Squirrel. I've ate a squirrel.
Wow.
Mhm.
Where?
It's good.
Like a random
In
one or
Africa.
just-
In Africa?
Tastes like chicken, right?
Yeah, the squirrel.
There's
like
Plano.
squirrels.
there's a
There
carnival.
are no squirrels in Africa.
What are you talking about?
What are we talking about here? What? Serious?
There is squirrels in Africa.
Ain't no squirrels in Africa.
Africa.
But this
I've
is
never
free.
saw a Discovery
crying.
Channel and they got a squirrel.
There's no way.
A lion
Where
hunting
they
a squirrel.
going?
I was there. I'm not Discovery Channel. I was there.
There are three
But I-
types of
I-
squirrels in
Come on,
Africa.
what?
There is the
I'll
Cape
research
ground
it.
squirrel,
Willy, which
the
one?
African bush squirrel, and the Smith bush squirrel.
Now you just
So-
making
I
stuff
think
up.
because he grew up in Egypt, I don't think they have. I don't think they have squirrels.
I'm the only
They don't have
person
squirrels
in
in
this
Egypt?
panel born in Juba
Yeah.
and raised in
I
Juba.
will acknowledge that the squirrels look a
There's
lot
no-
like.
There probably no squirrels.
How
in
you gonna say?
Meerkats.
How you gonna say Egypt? We're supposed to be in the same side.
So
They look like meerkats.
where
ain't
did
the
you
whole
eat the
shit.
squirrel? Where did you eat it? Was
you
it a
gotta-
restaurant?
No. Like I was
What?
In the bush?
like
So they caught like a
we
wild
caught
squirrel.
it, and then
Oh, they got it.
and then
Okay.
we split the half, me and my friend.
Now I know he lying.
No, you're
Hey,
from.
you can't split a squirrel.
That's
That's number
different.
You
one.
can,
what
you
do
cut
you
it
mean?
right in the middle. What are you talking about?
So y'all caught the squirrel
Yes.
and then y'all wrote y'all cooked it yourself, you and your friend, and ate it.
We cut it half. He took the other half to his house. I took the other half to my house.
How old were you?
Probably like 11, 12.
Okay.
How did it
How did you
taste?
catch the squirrel?
Slingshot.
Are you being?
Nah,
This
I'm
dude
saying
is
it's not real.
He's not.
I'm
Like,
serious.
I believe the man.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
the people that grew up in
insane,
Africa
bro.
can
Okay.
can
Nah, I
contest with
believe
this.
Was it a tree?
Like
on the-
we
on the
caught
ground?
we shot a lot of birds, but the squirrel was the wildest thing that I've eaten. I think a lot people eat, a lot of people have had birds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I've had
Did you
Nah,
eat?
just
Did
maybe
you eat the
that.
I've had
tail?
alligator.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Like,
Yeah, I've heard about alligators.
Did you eat the tail?
You're from because you grew up in Kenya. There's a carnival or something called carnivore, where they sell like all different types of like exotic
Bush meat.
Like I think there's like giraffe and like all different types of meat.
Yeah.
That's what it's called,
So,
a carnivore.
yeah, carnivore.
there are people out there that's
in Kenya.
Isn't that how COVID started? With
Don't
stuff like
start.
this?
Now you
First off, now you
That's
tripping
right.
because that
Coronavirus.
And
But that's China though. Yeah, coronavirus started with these people
When
eating.
when has a
bad.
virus come from Africa outside
It
of the one
started
that
in
you're
a
about to
lab.
say?
West Nile.
It started in a lab.
Ebola.
The unspoken one.
Ebola.
So before we start the actual episode, I do want to ask you, Garang, because you went viral
Yeah.
twice.
Couple
Remember,
times,
he went
yeah.
viral
Mhm.
twice. When we were talking about colorism and was it just color? It was just
I think
colorism
it was colorism.
and featureism.
Yeah. My experience being dark skinned in America, I feel like I got to the realization that I'm at the bottom of that bucket, like, because, it's like you said, colorism, it's like how white can you be? You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, I feel like, people don't really promote themselves or feel highly about themselves unless someone's under them, So as I was growing up, I really didn't have someone under me that I could say, you blacker than me. You get what I'm saying? No facts. That's a fact. So it's like every place I was that person that everybody was had
walk
their
into
foot
a
under.
room.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It toughened my skin, but at the same time, it's switching now. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's very.
I love it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, like growing up, you get what I'm saying? My skin tone, I didn't even know. I was like, yo, is this going to be life, bro? Like, is life
Yeah.
really going to be like this forever? Like,
And
yeah.
both of your videos, like, I think they got like had to be like at least 1 million, at least 1 million views.
Yeah.
How was the impact of that?
Comments
like,
were crazy.
Yes,
too.
Yeah.
every single day. We had to turn
Yeah.
our comments off
Yeah,
because
yeah.
every single day,
Heart
like,
eyes, all this. Like
Yeah.
it was too
Gorgeous.
much. Yes.
So how was that? Like, how was that experience? Because we never really got to catch up after that. Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I'll say at first it was surprising. I was like, how'd this pop off? What happened? Because y'all pick specific clips, Like, it wasn't the whole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, TikTok and Instagram are two different things. On TikTok they was hating me, but
Really?
yeah. The
What?
TikTok they was hating
Speak
me.
on it.
They did.
Yeah, because I guess I said something like actually. I said the
Oh,
word
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
you said. Oh, yeah. You said.
know?
South Sudanese women are actually beautiful.
but they didn't even hear the
Yeah.
whole thing. It's like,
Yeah.
and I was
And
like,
this
all right.
is, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
It's sick, Like I was like, what's going on, But they were stuck on actually, and then Instagram, it was like a whole different, They're like, oh my gosh, So I haven't dated any South Sudanese women, but as I began to love myself, I'm like, yo, like y'all actually beautiful. You get what I'm saying? But that's when I get into loving myself. You get what I'm saying? So yeah,
But that's real.
my take.
I'm glad.
To tell me I got ripped for the word actually. And what's crazy, what sucks, the people that were coming after me the most were my own people. Growing up, I thought, it sucks. you this black, it sucks. And now that I figured out that that's not the case, I thought, oh, we all on the same team. But come to find out, people that hate you the most are the people that you expect to be on your side first. That's something that I just had to come to the realization too. I seen people that hated me, seen people that love me. But it really just shows, you know, perspective is everything. To clarify what I meant, that's all I meant. I love myself. And now because I love this skin tone and see the beauty within it, it's no longer a deterrent. You know what a deterrent is? It's like me looking in the mirror and seeing, oh, this is not attractive. I can't see attraction beyond color. But now I'm able to see attraction beyond that color. But I got stuck on the word actually. Like I meant to say that word actually. And just by my speech, y'all could tell I know English, but I'm not the best in my grammar. But actually you're tripping. Actually, you might be the ugly one. Actually, it was interesting.
Yeah, I think that's true because a lot of the Instagram comments were like, "He's so beautiful. I'm glad he's got to realize he's beautiful and his people are beautiful." But TikTok were like, they thought it was kind of like like an attack on South Sudanese women,
like a backhanded compliment.
What's crazy is like even when I look back at the video, I was like, wait, hold on, I was talking about myself majority of it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I wasn't
even talking about them at all. And then I went to the point where it's like, oh, my skin's cool, y'all skin's cool, we could do something, you know. But it's like they're like, no, like, how's it gonna get you to like yourself before you like somebody else?
People had think pieces. Go ahead.
I don't know, but like basically, I think a girl responded in a video. Did you say like you because you hated yourself, like you wouldn't date?
No. It was like
women?
So we grew up in Amarillo, so you know, like Amanual was saying, you know, if you're in a small town, you got to make sure they really not even like racist. It's hard, you know. They never seen people like me. I'll say even in middle school, girls will come up to me and be like, "Yo, I've never seen you before." You know, like and I'm like, this is interesting. like I'm a zoo animal, you know? And I'm like, all right, he's cool, whatever. But so growing up, it's like I really didn't see black people. So it's like black was bad, you know, light skin, curly hair is cool. White people are cool, of course. But once I started liking my skin, I was like, okay. Besides us not having a lot of Sudanese women around, it's like, oh yeah, okay. I love my skin. I love your skin, you know. Move forward from there.
That's what missing in that conversation is like. Obviously, you didn't love yourself or your skin, so how can you love?
It's impossible.
Another like you're a woman of your skin tone, so you have to love yourself first.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it's him not loving his skin entirely. I think growing up, we understood that being dark skinned was not.
Everybody knows that.
It was not.
It's not a surprise.
I don't want to say but. Like you just knew.
Yeah. But I think it depends where you grew up in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we kind of had the same way we grew up because coming into Jacksonville, Florida, we was the second Sudanese family. So when I went to elementary school and I saw black people for the first time, I was like, oh shit, y'all exist. And they're looking at me like, oh, y'all exist. Because we didn't know there was this other side of the world. Yeah. And in a way, most of the bullying came from African Americans, to be honest. And you do get to a point when you I'm not sure how old you were when you started your journey here in America, but when you're 8-9 years old, you do start hating your skin because when you're getting bullied every single day from 4th grade all the way to 9th grade, you're like, yo, my skin is horrible. And then when you start seeing other people coming from South Sudan, it's like, wait a minute, no, it's not. Yeah. So there is that progression, that evolution where as a kid you don't know how to kind of like materialize your emotions that is internalized in you because what other people are telling you, projecting in you, you are projecting back to them because if they're telling you your skin is horrible, you're looking in the mirror, be like, oh yeah, my skin is horrible, and that's when you start using cream. Yeah, you start trying to look different. You're trying to be different, but then until you see other people like you, then you be like, okay, I accept me for me, and then you accept other people because as the first rule of you loving somebody else, you got to love yourself first.
Exactly.
And I feel like the tides are really turning. I feel like it's definitely a different world. Like even though I'm subbing now, I quit teaching, but I sub sometimes. And like I subbed last Friday and I was at a school and then 3 African kids came up to me and they're like, where are you from? And I told them to guess. And so they were all from Kenya, one from Cote d'Ivoire, and another one from Nigeria. And then they were just like, Kenya. I'm like, no. Tanzania? No. And then I was like, South Sudan. And then one of the girls was just like, oh, I don't know where that is. And the other girl from Kenya, she was just like, I know what that is. They have very beautiful people there. And it literally, I thought about that because I was just like, at the end of the day, and I'm like, that made my day. Because like that conversation, like, it's just so nice being on the other side of that. Because when I grew up, I was in predominantly white schools. So like, you think you're ugly because you're different, but you're really not. You're just in a, a space that doesn't accept you. But it was just so nice that these kids are literally, 11 years old, but they already like make those connections. They think, so if she told me I'm beautiful and like we have beautiful people, she's saying that about herself.
And her friends.
And like, I was just so happy to be on the other side of that, and maybe it's because we're in Texas too. Because I don't know, I feel like Dallas, it's a lot more black people.
I think it's
Vaida, you're a teacher, you're not a sub.
I was watching a video about kids talking about what it was like going to school in 2014. That was my senior year, technically, right? Technically 2014 was my senior year, and I remember what school was like in 2014, and it's been a decade. In my head, it's not a decade because that's when I went to school. But looking back at like what they even showed about like what being an African in 2014 was like, and being an African in school now in 2024, the kids even say it's completely different. Yeah, it's like the love for their blackness and their skin tone, no matter where it was, has flipped completely. These kids love each other and they know culturally about each other. The diaspora has finally like low-key woken up about each other. Because like when we first went to school, we were the first Africans they saw. They're the first African Americans we saw. Like you said, when you first watch movies in Egypt, it's guns, nigga. But and then for them it's like ooga booga, African. Like that's the kind of only translation that we had.
Because it's like a negative connotation. Because I mean being on the older side, I came in like I was watching in Cairo, Egypt. We was watching The Young and the Restless. These musalsalas where it's predominantly white. The only black people we knew was Michael Jackson, who was technically we thought was white. Tupac, that's it. So and Mike Tyson. So we thought every black person was Michael. These are the only three black people. So when we come here, it's like it's a much different connotation from what we are hearing on our end. And then from their end, all they're seeing is Africans in huts and people having warfare and all that. They don't see the cities. They don't know Cairo, Kampala, Cape in South Africa, Lagos. They don't see these cities. They don't realize that there are civilizations outside of this because all they see is just the negative what Hollywood is pushing. And back then it's like there was no internet. So what you see on TV is basically what you think reality is at that point. Until you make your own research.
I have a question for Garang, and I want the rest of y'all to answer too. Like with your video going viral, obviously we get the notifications. And in that video that went viral, well, one of them, you were talking about basically your struggle with like colorism, and the comments was crazy because it was like an overwhelming show of like how beautiful you are, how gorgeous your skin is, like just people affirming you so much. What was that like for you, or how did that feel, I guess, based on your past experience and then having, that reaction?
I'll say even till this day, even if I'm feeling down or, feeling not the best about how I'm feeling, I'll even go and look at the comments because it's crazy, how much love I was shown. I really didn't expect it because it's like, really, it's almost like I experienced, I wouldn't say the worst, because people have, experiences, but it's like, going from hating myself to people calling me beautiful and, showing how much they love me. It's like, when I forget that, it's like, oh, I could just go back and look at it. And even it got to the point where it's like, when I'm responding to people, it's so much that it became, I didn't want to be ungenuine because it's like, there were so many people I didn't want to give the same response. So I know there's a lot of people that I didn't respond to, I still love y'all guys, but it was insane. Like it was insane because I seen the genuine love that like Amanual was saying that it switched, people really love us or, that I was absent from when I was growing up. So it was
Yo,
so
they got,
can I ask this?
He had like 5,000 comments.
I just want to ask one quick question because we talk about the negative. Do you believe there's a positivity to colorism as far as being dark skinned? Is there a positivity right now for you being dark skinned?
Yeah.
Not colorism,
saying's there.
How is colorism positive?
No. But I'm saying not that, because what he said is like he hated himself. But I'm saying, is there a positivity to being dark? Because me personally, there was a year when being dark was positive for me. I was like, I'm in. Mm-hmm. And then it's been a run since then.
Yeah. I'll say, there is. And it's like now, especially because I'm a model. So I do fashion modeling. And when I first became a model, I didn't even know if I was qualified for real. I was like, there's nobody that looks like, because I don't know, now there's a lot of Sudanese in the industry, but when I jumped in, I wouldn't say it was even as much as it is now.
Especially men.
Sudanese men.
For sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of Sudanese women. Even the people that were inspiring me was like a knock and a dupe. Like that was what I was looking at. And jumping in, now it's like there's a lot, but now going back into the industry, it's like, wow, I got this confidence and I could walk in the room knowing I'm supposed to be there. People love me. People want me to be there. Instead of it just being, oh, can I do this? Now it's like, oh, people actually want to see me. So I have been walking different for sure. It's like there's an internal confidence that came from that. That I'm telling you, I still look at. It's crazy. It's
because
insane.
I'm thinking in the beginning, maybe you thought you was just an outcast. Like, we're gonna put him in because he's this color.
Exactly.
But now you like, wait, they accept me for me because I bring more than just my skin color. I bring myself.
Like in Texas, like every place I've been, even I went to Paris, right, for the Olympics. So I was there for a little while.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about that.
Let me get a picture. I'm a Photoshop my face.
Don't forget about us whenever you.
You about to blow up.
So I was over there, and literally every single place I go into, the stairs have changed. Like, I don't even know if I said this last time, but the stairs have changed from, oh, this is a thug or he's going to do something to me to, wow, it's like intrigue. It's like intrigue. And it's like now I get to do, I wouldn't say do whatever I want with it, but now it's like, it's like love. And at the same time, it's a different life. I would just say it's a different life.
And can I put one caveat? Because I feel like I talk way too much. But I would say, shout out to the South Sudanese Olympic.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have brought me a lot of stature and looks.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Gabriel Winyan, I don't know who he is, but I've told multiple people I am him. And they have accepted it. So as such, thank you.
You could have just
Shout
said
out to Winyan.
Thank
you, Winyan.
Yeah.
No, I am him.
Now, everybody
What do you mean, his uncle? I am him.
I do agree though. Like, I think Texas is different. Because growing up in Utah, like you get those stares. I think sometimes we're so used to it that we don't know anymore that like I always talk about, like, how in movies, like there would just be a guy just wearing a hat and hiding. Like, as a Sudanese man, you can't do that. You can't hide because like you're probably the darkest person they've ever seen.
100%.
Especially in Utah.
And they like, and even when they try to hide it, you can see it. Like everywhere you go, you can see it. You stand out. But like I've never seen it. I've never seen it as a bad thing. I think I think even in Kenya we stood out. So only
Everywhere
in South Sudan, anywhere in the world we stand out.
Except South
But
Sudan.
except in South Sudan. So it'd be nice to be able to be in South Sudan and just nobody cares about you.
Like even like the anxiety that comes from that, like people staring at you.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about growing up, it's like it was a negative anxiety. My parents couldn't understand.
Sometimes you feel that as an adult. Because
crazy.
I went to the mall. I went to the mall yesterday.
Awesome.
I went to the mall yesterday, and then like there was like a group of like
Them teenagers.
like guys, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Like,
I can
I
say
started
one
to feel like
statement.
high school again a
Literally.
little bit, but I'm like, what the heck? Like I'm
Teenage
I'm a whole
guys.
adult. Like,
But
why am I
like,
acting like
but
this?
Crazy.
That's
the
so true.
difference is like
It's
when
triggering.
I came to Texas though, I've just had situations where I'm seeing, because there's a lot of black people here, and I'm seeing this staring, and then you'll actually have like some black woman approach you and they're like, your skin is very beautiful.
Yes.
Or like,
Shout out to Dallas
like,
with a woman
shout out.
I've
They be
had
doing that.
that's
They be
happened so
coming
many
through.
times
Yeah,
here
'cause
in
I'm from
Dallas.
Missouri.
I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah.
Oh my
We're
god.
not gonna do that to Dallas because I'm
No,
gonna call
Vida,
Dallas
please
out.
No.
speak on
Hey,
that, 'cause
shout out
I
to
was in
Dallas. Don't
Missouri
talk
last
about it.
time.
I'm gonna call Dallas out because
Dallas woman will talk to you.
No.
Dallas, Dallas was like that right now, but Dallas about anywhere from 2000.
I mean, don't be bringing us back to the past.
Let me say it, because you would hear the same statement. Oh hell no, that nigga black than the mother.
Hey, from a block away.
You ain't even get a chance. You're like,
No.
what the fuck?
I've had a different experience, but I'm happy that y'all said, like, y'all went through that so that we don't got to.
They
But like,
They cross so we can walk.
like,
walk
but
around.
coming from Kansas City, like, well, I
Yeah,
grew up, like,
that's funny.
honestly, I've never felt so desired. Like, like, I feel like dating has been a lot more prospects since coming to Dallas.
Oh.
And I feel like it would be different if I was still in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like it's been different. I felt more desired.
In Dallas, like they appreciate dark skin.
Especially when I first got here, I felt like this was a different world. It was different.
Yeah.
Like every day I walked out, I felt like someone was giving me a compliment.
Oh yeah,
man, woman, like just like giving me a compliment and affirming that I'm beautiful.
Real love.
You know, and then more
Real love.
romantic, offers. But like, I just feel like it's been a different vibe.
But can
And
I
you
ask
grew
you,
up
feel
in
like Willy
Missouri,
did?
I grew up in
right?
Kansas City.
So I was in
Yes.
Missouri last week, and that was my first time really feeling covert race. Like, when people don't want to make eye contact with you and they try to avoid you and you can tell they're uncomfortable. That's the first time in my life, because growing up in Texas, it's so diverse,
Yeah.
But can I ask?
The crazy,
Can I ask
like
this
the
real
crazy,
quick?
the crazy thing about that is like, Dallas is the first place that I had first like actual coworkers who were black, and then somebody in leadership who's actually black. Like this,
Why is it weak?
bro.
You gotta believe
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
like that's crazy. Like I was like
Ever?
like some of the interviews I was going in, I was shocked. It's a black person, and then I realized the difference,
Yeah.
the difference in energy when somebody is black interviewing you versus white person.
Yeah.
Where
That's right.
like black person, I can relax, my shoulders down, I can just have a
you
conversation.
don't have to code
Yeah.
switch.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
much as
Like
much.
you a lot of the times, because of especially as men, when you're dark skinned, people do view sometimes like as if you're dangerous. So you want to disarm them by trying to like adjust to make them comfortable. Like, hey, I'm not a threat to you
Yep.
all the time, but that could be exhausting.
Overcompensating.
Yeah, it could be exhausting.
Super.
So, I'm
so-
going to say a statement that, like, a lot of the time, so for example, I'm already naturally like a person that's like outgoing. But like, I will say that sometimes, since I am naturally outgoing, a lot of the times in those environments, they get comfortable with me because of just my regular everyday personality. And then it hits me, I'm like, bro, am I playing a role? And are they thinking that I'm playing the role of like the
I think that's
the
your
good
natural
brother?
personality, but I also feel, I don't know about for men, but I feel like as dark-skinned people, we're not allowed to be introverted.
Oh, no.
But this
Because
is
I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert, but when you're around certain people, you, like you said, you have to overcome, you have to be extremely nice and disarm them and let them know, like, hey, okay, this is like one of the good ones.
yeah, and this is why.
Because that's what they're
Yeah.
thinking.
Viola Davis even talked about that, like when they pick roles, it's like usually they pick roles for black people that it's like the slave or the servant, but then also the funny one, the one that's always like, making everybody comfortable, making everybody laugh. And sometimes that translates to like real life where people expect you like as the black friend to be the funny one, that like the one that's gonna like entertain them. And that can also be dangerous because it's like, if I'm not if I don't fit in that box, then am I still not worthy of like,
it's
It's
exhausting.
humanizing.
Yes.
And this is what I wanted to ask is because like my resting face is mean. The way I just look, I just
Same.
Yeah.
everyone here.
Yeah, we know.
Nah, everybody do a resting face in here. They might.
yeah. Our resting face is typically as Sudanese. We just.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say as far as the question is like, as far as when does a compliment becomes an insult? Because a lot of times it's like when being in Florida, I grew up with racists, so I knew when somebody's racist and they're being racist. But when I went to California, which is liberal haven, I started feeling like, wait a minute, the compliments were kind of disrespectful when they start saying, "Oh, I love the way your skin looks," and then they touch me. I was like, that looks disrespectful because what do you mean? The only difference between me and your skin is melatonin. That's it. There's no difference in the skin. Or I love the way you
Melanin.
melanin. I said melatonin. I'm sleepy. This Monday. Hey, it's 8:35. I usually take my melatonin. I take my melatonin right around this time. My fault. No, we gotta get him to talk next. When does the praise become insult? So when somebody asks you, "Wow, your skin is nice," and they me personally, I just don't like to be touched. I don't like somebody touching me. And California was like the first time people was like, "Oh my God, I like the way your skin looks," and they'll touch me.
Yeah.
So when do you think is that occurs as far as like when it's somebody praising you and
Admiring,
saying
yeah.
how admiring how you look versus they're
Yeah.
kind of covertly insulting you? Oh, your hair looks different.
Oh yeah.
Is that like
Things are different.
fetishization? Is that
I think it's
What
called
do they call it?
I didn't hear
microaggression. I say like when it becomes like an insult is whenever they see you as an object, because there's ways to like compliment somebody and see them as a human being, but there's also compliments where it's like you only see me as an object. You don't see me for who I am.
Like they're
So,
investigating.
Yeah. So whenever you see that and you don't see the human in me, I think that's when it becomes like, okay, this is an insult, because at the end of the day, I'm a human being first.
Yeah.
And then like you gotta, and then you can acknowledge, in my skin or whatever. But
When do y'all both acknowledge like because I know both of y'all are models, right?
Yeah, he needs to be. I don't know
I
why he's
thought the brother
playing
was a
around.
model.
Well, I couldn't be a model. I'm over here.
I'm not a model.
I want to be a model.
But when do you know that like it's not about consumption now, because they're kind of like using you as a product, and so when does that fetishization go into that line, and you're like, okay, please, I'm still a human here.
Or do you
like
accept it?
don't just use me as your product to push forward. I'm a person.
I think even, especially today, I think that comes at our discretion. It's not even like, sometimes I'll know that's happening, but it's like, in reality, say it is a photo shoot. Say I'm going to be on like a big magazine or something, and it is like for consumption. Now it's at my discretion. Do I really want to argue that or just be on that magazine? You get what I'm saying? But like he said, when they're investigating, they get to the point where it's like say my hair, I have a couple people be like, your hair is fake. I'm like, it's not fake. And then their eyes change and they're looking at it and they're trying to touch it. And I'm like, that's a little too much. Like you can't believe me, but I would say that consumption thing, it's hard to even discern that, but yeah.
A couple of episodes ago, we had the model who said the cameraman said something to her. How would you react to that if that happened?
Just for the audience to give them like background.
Yeah.
Anakyai went through a situation when she was doing a photo shoot with Sahra where the photographer called her a cockroach in his language. La cucaracha. Yeah, she called her la cucaracha, which translates to cockroach. And he assumed that she wouldn't understand it, but she understood.
Yeah.
How would you have reacted to answer his question?
So if I'm in a photo shoot and someone call me a cockroach, yeah, I think
sounds crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, it does sound crazy. Yeah. It's like, and I think at that point it's like, I'm not staying there. I'm gonna just keep it real. Like I'm gonna leave that shoot, especially if I know it at that moment, because when I was first modeling, even like I said, there wasn't that much Sudanese. So when they did my hair and stuff, it was funny. Like I'd sit there, they'd spray it, like the people that did the makeup and stuff, they'll spray it, kind of just touch it, and then just leave it. And I'm like, I basically did my own hair. You just kind of know what you did.
And that's a common thing with models. Like they have to do their own makeup and they fix their own hair and stuff. Like they don't get the same service and like treatment that the other models get.
Yeah, but cockroach is crazy. I'm not. Yeah, that's insane.
And just to talk about your video again that went viral, where you were talking about like growing up being dark skinned and how like you had to grow to love yourself, and then in turn you started to love your South Sudanese woman.
Yeah.
Just to give credence to the argument that a lot of women had that were like kind of upset or insulted or whatever. I think the argument was like, us dark-skinned girls, we never had to love our dark-skinned men. Yeah. Like we naturally loved them because we were dark-skinned and they were just like the closest. They were like in closer proximity.
That's straight cap.
So
that is straight cap. Like
that's the argument.
That is so untrue.
So that's the argument. And I want y'all to respond to it because a lot of girls were like, "Why do us dark-skinned girls get the blunt of colorism from other dark-skinned men when dark-skinned women automatically love dark-skinned men?"
Let me say
so I want you to answer that. Let him answer it first because it was his video.
Yeah.
They were going in on him.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'll say even with like dark-skinned women, let me even just use my family as an example. My younger sister, it's like she had me and 2 other brothers growing up. So it's like regardless of whatever they're saying at school, she comes at home and she knows she's protected. So she's like, okay, even though they might hate my skin, I'm not gonna hate my skin. My brothers love me. But when I'm going to school, it's like, who's going to defend me? I don't expect my little sister to defend me. So it's like when I'm at school getting ridiculed and hated, I can't vent to my parents. I can't vent to my sister. I got to kind of internalize that, you know. So I'll say y'all have been already, I wouldn't say y'all have that confidence inside of y'all, but y'all do have a community around y'all and like men around y'all, whether it's your dad or brothers, that kind of instill love into you. I love what Amanual does. Like for his sister, you know, the way that he showed love, it's insane because she's now doing music. She's doing all these things where I'm like, man, that's the brother I want to be to my sister, you know, be putting confidence in her until the day that, you know, I'm gone. So I'll say we don't have that. So it's like we kind of have to face that, internalize it, and then from that, you know, respond to the world.
I could definitely see that because I think, like, even when we talk about how boys are raised and just like, you don't tell, I don't know if parents necessarily tell their boys or sons, like, you're beautiful. You know, I don't think that's something that we get as we're children. So, like, I could understand that. That's the video. I saw that reaction. That's why I brought that question earlier. Because I could really, I'm like, I've never had, like, a phase where I, like, hated or like I was just like, oh my god, Sudanese men, like I think one of my first crushes was Sudanese boy. So like I never had that experience, but I could see how like the way boys are reared, that it doesn't affirm, you know, that in you know our young boys, and they can carry that self-hatred all the way to adulthood. If they
I will say this. I think there's a certain level of colorism that we both face as black as Sudanese men and women, but there's a different level of colorism that the women face that we don't, because a lot of the times like the same people that would hate the Sudanese girls are the ones who compliment us as men about it. Like, you know, the whole darkness is viewed as a masculine. You know, it's viewed as very masculine. So you know, tall, dark, and handsome, all of that. So sometimes the women will fetishize us because of our darkness, but at the same time, the same woman who would look down on other Sudanese women as for being that same dark color that we have. And so the experience was different. We didn't have at all the times, even if we were facing the bullying, it wasn't coming from the opposite sex. Like
it was coming
girls,
from the opposite sex.
Oh man.
It was coming from the opposite
sex.
Thank you.
Well,
I feel like what I'm saying is like,
it wasn't coming from the opposite sex of Sudanese.
No. I'm saying the women did not give me a hard time for being dark. It actually maybe was sometimes to my advantage because they would fetishize me. And at the time, I don't know what that means. I just know like she likes me.
But both are dehumanizing.
Yeah, exactly. But at the time, you're just happy to get that attention.
Exactly.
You know,
Wait, they're not calling you ugly.
Exactly.
Or like dark skin is not viewed as ugly.
I'm talking about like growing up as a kid in middle school and high school.
What years?
And so
we gotta say the years.
I gotta.
Oh my goodness.
This is
This is the time where we gotta be.
2009 to
2014 for me.
Yeah.
No. 2009 is when I graduated high school. So
2009 was when I was in middle school. So from 2009 to 2014.
God damn, you gotta show these man's age like that.
So pretty much, you're saying
but pretty much what I'm saying is the level of colorism that women, the dark skinned women face is not the same as the one that we face as males.
That's real.
Like, you know, it's different because black women, darker skinned women are made to feel like they're ugly, like they're aggressive, that like all the masculine qualities that, you know, that as women they don't want to. It's like when a man is being it's like when it's like being insulted as a man as being feminine, where you're being told like by a woman like, oh yeah, he's broke, or he's, you know, he's gay, like, you know, it's like kind of the opposite of that. Yeah, he's sassy or whatever.
You have
it's
to
like you don't, as men, we don't like those feminine insults. Just the same way those women don't like those male like masculine insults.
Yeah.
And I would say that's the difference. And let me say so, because I want to give you the last word, because you look like you got some stuff to get out your chest.
I got some shit.
No. Going back to what he said, as far as going back home and getting that confidence back home, is we didn't, as men, we didn't get that confidence back home, because just being a man is like, if my daughter comes home to me, I'm gonna build her up her confidence. If my son comes to me and be like, yo, you got to get out there and fight. What are you talking about? And this goes to like 4 videos down in the Ladies of Sosa. Shout out to Ladies of Sosa Instagram. Some lady talked about like the men are coddled, and my emphasis was like, who are these men that were coddled? Because I don't know who these men are. because a lot of times, at least me personally, growing up, we weren't coddled. We were basically pushed out. My father, I remember in 7th grade, my bike got stolen by some Bosnians. And I came back home crying. And my father told me to get back out there and get my bike. Because he paid not 150, $75 for the bike. So I wasn't caught. I had to go back out there and figure out a way to get this bike back. So I think but this is anecdotal. Had nothing to do with this. But from what his point was, is like as men, how we look at ourselves is like when we wake up in the mirror, we look at ourselves in the mirror. That's how we project ourselves. We did not have that role model to tell us that we are beautiful. We are enough. Mm-hmm. They just told us to be stronger, faster, and keep going, regardless of what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. But our daughter, our sisters that were coming back home, if they got told that they were ugly in school, my stepmother was like, "No, you're not ugly. You're beautiful. You're this, you're that." And to be honest, that's how you have to. In a way, you got to tell a woman that you have to instill that confidence, or the way Amanual instill confidence in his in his sister. You have to instill confidence, because as a woman, you get beaten down a lot in this world, and sometimes you may not know where to run to, and your family is going to be the one that's going to keep that confidence in you. But as a man, a lot of times when we go out there and we get beat down and we come back to our family, even our friends, it's like, you got to figure it out. And a lot of us men out here, we had to figure it out the way we kind of grew up.
But I think that goes back to just the stereotypical, just patriarchy, really, because like the things that men are the things that boys are what's reinforced in boys and the things that are reinforced in girls. I feel like that would definitely go back to like the stereotypical, the things that are connected to patriarchy. Because the way you were raised is to fight, get that back, show that you're, no one can take your stuff. But also you needed that other part too. Like that wasn't like you needed also to be told that you were, beautiful, worthy, all those things.
Intrinsically valuable.
Exactly. We need both of those things. You do, because he was telling about how
I'm not telling my son that he's good looking. No, you got to go out there. Figure it out.
Tariq, you're absolutely
right. That's life. Tariq, because as a man, you have to figure it out. Let me tell you something. As a woman, you always gotta have people behind you. If you're down and out, there's somebody there that's gonna be there for you. As a man, you don't have that. And so I'm gonna teach my son to figure it out, because that's what life is about. You have to figure it out as a man.
How about this?
Because you are the patriarchy of your family.
Or you have to create a group of brothers that are around you that is a solid group. Because for me personally, I had the pops that I had, right? But you're right about the whole. It tells you to get on your bag. Because here's the thing. I remember I came home.
You got to get on your bag.
I got jumped twice in 1 week, right?
I mean, understandable.
Yeah, I got jumped because my mouth is my mouth. I was talking shit, right? So this is the mentality. For me, getting beat up was not verbal. It was about getting punched in the fucking face. So I got punched the first time they jumped me the first day. My dad was like, "You good? Look at your face. You straight? You put your hands up?" I was like, "Yeah, Dad." I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Shut up. You good? Don't worry about it."
Was that when you got jumped by the whole school, or was that the second jump?
Like a quarter. They beat my ass the second time.
But this is kind of different, right? Because it's like value as a human, though, right? So it's like coming back home and not feeling your value as a human.
No,
like literally,
and that's
it's like
I agree to that.
It's like,
I agree
who do
to
you
that.
talk to about that, right?
I agree to that. No, that's what I'm saying. I agree to that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying as a man is a lot of times we have to figure out at some point. So, but I do agree. I do agree to you when you say as a value as a human being, because a lot of times we don't know what our value is as a human being.
Literally.
Because there's not that person on the other side of that mirror telling us that we are good.
But I also think that y'all are assuming that women get affirmed. I think that y'all are assuming that dark-skinned women when we were younger got affirmed that we were beautiful.
Don't say dark-skinned women. I'm talking about women in general.
Well, just
they do get affirmed.
We're talking about colorism. I don't like South Sudanese women. I don't think that all of us were told when we got home that we're beautiful. Because like Emma said in one of the episodes when we talked about this, is like when she went home and she would tell her parents that like I got bullied because I was dark skinned. She was like, her parents were like, I'm dark skinned too. Okay, what do you want me to do about that? Like, so it's like they don't understand it because they grew up in like either a place where everybody was dark, so they don't understand. Like, what are you crying about?
Yeah, and that's true.
So a lot of dark skinned women weren't told that they were beautiful, because I think that's like how y'all, like, that's a narrative that y'all put on, is like, well, y'all were told that y'all were beautiful, men weren't, but also some women weren't told they were beautiful.
That's true. No.
Okay, I'll say
I agree. I mean, I do agree to that. It's like, yeah, there were some people, some women who came in and were not told, and a lot of times you can tell who those women are. And this is why I and me and him highlighted Amanual is the way he speaks to his sister, because that's the way I speak to my sister, and the way I speak to my nieces is because your first I guess your first interaction with a man is either your brothers and your uncles and your fathers.
Yeah.
So if they're not affirming that you are a beautiful person, that you are good enough, that you are this, then that means you gonna that when you leave out, you're gonna have those daddy issues where you're looking for men that are lacking, and you're not looking for a good man because you just don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to
So that's what
by saying that, like, it's kind of true, but it's not true, because like with manhood, like, if somebody
I was giving you props, and you tell me.
No, but you're absolutely, you're right. But I always say, my dad used to tell me, like, if somebody says that you black as fuck, punch him in the mouth.
That's true.
Like, as a Sudanese man, I could just fight somebody.
We can't do that.
And I could just straight check them. Funny thing is, my sister used to check bitches for that. My sister. Let me explain. My sister used to check girls for that, and girls wouldn't do that.
Okay, let me ask.
And boys wouldn't do that because they knew that, like, she had brothers around.
It all becomes a fulfilling prophecy where it's like the darker skinned girls are viewed as aggressive, but are they aggressive because they're dark, or they have to be aggressive?
I think that's a different issue, but I would want to talk to that,
because if your sister has to fight,
she's never had to fight.
Not like
they were just scared of her because she was taller and bigger than everybody.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, so the world is making her aggressive.
But is there
she has to defend herself about being dark skinned.
Exactly.
Is there a perception?
She had me, my brothers, and my people around.
I know, but like I know you guys.
No, but you gotta answer his question. Is there a perception that dark skinned women?
Absolutely.
Do you guys like she's not aggressive? Of course, because you guys know who she is as a person. But like to the outside world,
can I explain?
Because like she has to defend herself. She has to be protective of herself.
So, and I have this conversation with my sister all the time. I said the truth of it is, you're a dark skinned woman in this world, just like I'm a dark skinned man in this world. We are innately going to be viewed as more aggressive and more assertive and more dominant in general because we niggas, right? And at the end of the day,
with black people,
you have to overtly be more feminine, just the same way that I have to be overtly be more comedic to make people feel at ease around me or around us. And that's just like the truth of life. Like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, yes, we can talk about how socially it's wrong and we can push forward ourselves to be better, et cetera, but you can't stop human nature.
That's your reality.
But like,
because humans.
I reject that.
What I'm saying is like, what I'm asking is like, what about if you're a woman and you're facing this all the time? Are you supposed to just like I agree with you when it comes to us men, we have to kind of like naturally feminize ourselves to not be a threat.
Don't do that.
Whatever. No.
Feminize is crazy.
Wrong word on that one, right?
Guys, feminize you guys are looking at feminize as exactly.
No.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. What society views as feminine energy, you know? Because because.
I don't think.
But thank you, Vaida. Thank you, Vaida.
There was a year.
What Willy's trying to say is true.
But I'm saying I'm saying us as men, we have to do that, right? But then what about the women when they're facing that type of ugly bullying?
Yeah.
Like are you gonna have to keep taking it, or at some point you're gonna have to fight back for yourself?
Can I speak on as a dark skinned woman who's been bullied? I think that I understand what Amanual is saying, and I understand what Willy is saying, but I think that we're not allowing like dark skinned women to like have personalities, is what it's sounding like. It's like you're saying like this is the way that it is. This is the world that we live in. Like you're gonna have to stand up and be aggressive. But what if your personality is naturally like to be like you're not a fighter, you're not aggressive, you're not, because I wasn't aggressive. I wasn't a fighter for so long. Like I wouldn't say anything back. And eventually in high school, you do say something.
Or you're not funny.
But for me, it's like, why do I have to become something that's not who I am just because I'm dark skinned.
To protect
So,
yourself.
Yeah.
at what point do you start thinking, am I being fake?
Yeah. And to piggyback off of your question too, I want to add on to that, like just like being fake or like, like putting on a persona because you're dark skinned.
Yeah.
And just
That's what
to
I'm
make
saying.
people
Trying
feel
to be the
comfortable.
tough girl when
Yes.
you know that's not who you are. It's like,
So we're gonna take a break right here. The episode did get really juicy.
Do it.
So the conversation is going to continue. We're gonna make this the next episode, so to make sure you stay tuned.
Well, you guys
Right,
never
right.
tell them to hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. Bye. Bye.
Let's